Hockey town, going down to hockey town, whoa, whoa. Hockey town, take me down to hockey town, yeah, yeah.
Hello, hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection is on the air. We're on the air for the next half hour. I'm Kenny Gallagher along with Jerry Burrow. And we're going to talk about Minnesota hockey from the pros to the high schools and everything in between. And Jerry, last week we had Pat Heffernan, a spokesperson for Hockey Day Minnesota Duluth. And we got the scoop on what's coming up here on February 6th in Duluth. Duluth will host Hockey Day Minnesota, the 10th annual, 10 a.m. The first game, Eveleth and Denfeld. And then at 1 p.m., Lakeville North and Duluth East, a rematch of last year's Class AA championship game. And for more information and details, go to duluthhockey.com. I just love that site, duluthhockey.com. It's a great site.
Oh, you went there?
Oh, yeah. And I know that Clark Kuhl has been the longtime director, but we've got a changing of the guard here that's taking place there.
Yeah,
at Daha.
Daha.
Duluth
Hockey.
Amateur Hockey Association.
Right. And Jason Watt.
Yeah.
He had Duluth East player, and he played at UMD, defenseman. Then he coached at Duluth Marshall.
Whoa. He went to St. Scholastica. I know that.
He went over and he started at UMD.
I thought he went to St. Scholastica, so we'll check in on that. Okay. He was he played hockey at UMD?
Yeah, he started there.
I did not know that. All right. So Jason,
check into that.
Yeah.
Let's get this straight.
Jason has taken over the reins for Daha, and we'll chat with him here as time goes on. But again, Hockey Day Minnesota coming to Duluth, February 6th. The rink is up, the ice is in, the glass is in, the lights are up. They've had a couple of games, or a game. The girls played some games there, and then they had an open skate last weekend. And
on Sunday.
They're going to do that again.
Yeah, this Sunday, Denfeld, well, you can skate with the Denfeld hockey team. So it's fun. I mean, a lot of people showed up with the East players and that, and the kids just loved it.
So this Sunday, the 31st.
Yeah, 4:30 to 6:30, I think, is the time of the open skate this Sunday. And, boy, it was fun. I was down there.
Yeah.
And, boy, a lot of kids, and like I said, they took pictures and great view, and they're getting it together.
Yeah.
And they're just praying for good weather now. And they want it cold, for the ice. They'd love it to be what was Sunday, like 20, 25 degrees for the game. But, early morning, get it down to like 5, so that ice will be nice.
Now, what are they expecting? And I meant to ask Pat this, and unfortunately I didn't get a chance to ask him about seating. They're going to have some temporary bleachers set up, but what are they looking at for crowds? I mean, how many are they hoping to accommodate?
I don't know, but they're selling 2,000 tickets right now. Just in case the weather's bad, they can go into the Heritage.
So 2,000 tickets will be sold.
Right, and then when they know the weather's going to be okay and they know they're going to have it outside there, then they'll start selling extra tickets.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guarantee if the weather's nice, they'll get at least 3,000, maybe 4,000 down there.
Yeah.
So it's a great view and everything. I mean, perfect. I mean, if they can get the cameras right, it'll be one of the best Hockey Day Minnesota sites that they had in the first 10 years here.
Well, mark it on your calendars. Saturday, February 6th, and Hockey Day Minnesota will take place in Duluth. And I hope this is something that they can do, I don't want to say on a regular basis, but it'd be nice if they could do some more outdoor things like this in Duluth, not necessarily connected with Hockey Day Minnesota.
Right. They can probably do something with the youth, have a Pee-wee Bantam game to a high school game, a girls game, put all four together in a day.
Yeah.
And then let them use the rink. That'd be nice, yeah.
Well, this certainly is going to be a big boost for Duluth hockey. No question about that. And again, for more details on Hockey Day Minnesota and Duluth hockey in general, duluthhockey.com.
There you go. So, did you watch the Wild game last night?
I sure did, Jared. I got to tell you, they're up. This team is a team that they can be up 5-0, and I would be worried that they would lose the game.
It seems like they're snake bit.
And I got to tell you, this comes down to coaching. I don't think Jacques Lemaire teams performed this way wherever Jacques coached. Last night you had Devin Dubnyk out of the net, along the boards, and it was because of that play that really they lost the game. So here's the puck on the stick of an Arizona player, a gaping hole to shoot at because the goalie's nowhere to be found, and they tie the game. And when this team goes into overtime, they cannot win the game.
Right. What are they, 1 out of 8, 1 out of 9?
And it's very frustrating. And this is a team that started out very well and has cooled down, and I think we're seeing the real Minnesota Wild team. They're not big, they're small. To me, Mikael Granlund
hasn't done anything.
He gets when that puck is on his stick and he crosses the blue line, he doesn't think goal. He thinks, who can I give it to?
Right.
He's eager to get rid of the puck.
Yeah.
And to me, he wouldn't be on my team.
Okay. That's your opinion.
I think he'd be a great AHL player.
Ooh, you really demoted him. Not from the first line, but to lower league.
I've been watching him all year.
Yeah.
And it's the same
But
thing.
it's not just him. There's a lot of players that game to game are not putting the effort in that I think they should. And so I can't blame just that one player. I mean, I think the goaltending's been pretty decent to win a lot of games. But
they lead the league in shutouts.
Darcy
just had a shutout at Los Angeles, so they're capable of it. But there's no consistency there, and I think that's when you get.
But they're like most teams. A lot of teams need centers, and they need more physical players because the Wild don't have physical players really.
They don't.
They're just more finesse players and throw the puck in and try to get the puck and pass it over. I mean, you watch their power play. That struggled again.
This team does not match up to a Chicago Blackhawks. They do not match up to
I don't
the
know how
Pittsburgh Penguins.
Chicago does it because they win the championship. They have to lose players because of their salary cap.
I'll tell you
They do it year in, year
they're
out.
They're tenacious.
Yeah.
And they're highly skilled. And Minnesota lacks that.
So, I don't know the answer, but winning helps. And they better start winning. Otherwise, hey, they're on that borderline now to dropping out of the playoffs. They don't watch it.
That's what we get. That's what they are. And I'm frustrated. I'm a fan. I want them to win. I want them to do good. But when I watch them, I get so frustrated. And it's, again, last night in overtime, I sat there and I thought, this isn't good. And sure enough, they lose the game in overtime again.
Right. And then soon they finally get a week off now because of the All-Star break. And right away they go to New York, where the two New York teams, which are both playing pretty good hockey right now. And, then they they got 3 games on the road, I think, and then they come home. They got Dallas and Washington here, 2 of the best teams in hockey. So it's not going to be an easy task. They got to figure something out in the next week. Otherwise, Yo might not be around.
Well, Fletcher's the GM. You got to wonder what he's thinking. He would never reveal anything to the media. It would be a waste of time to interview Chuck Fletcher and try to get his thoughts on this and what he might do to remedy it. But I don't know. Is he looking for a new coach? Is that something that he thinks is necessary or required? And who would that new coach be?
Yeah, and who knows what the owner is thinking? Leopold. He's got to be thinking a lot of things too.
Well, he's not happy.
Oh, he's not happy.
He's a fan just like us, and we see it every night on the ice. They work hard. Nino Niederreiter does not have a move. He doesn't have a goal-scoring move. Did you see the breakaway last night? It's very frustrating.
Well, Charlie Coyle he's getting a goal. He's starting to play a little better in that, but they need more than one player. So I don't know. They got the goaltending's doing good enough to win games. So I think the other players have really, if they don't step it up, it's going to be a sad finish here.
Well, the NHL All-Star Game will take place here now, and if you want to call it a game, it's going to be the craziest format, and maybe it'll be exciting and fun. We'll see. The All-Star break has begun. The All-Star Game is at Nashville, Tennessee, home of the Predators, January 31st, so Sunday, January 31st. The All-Star Game will be played in Nashville's home rink, but it's not going to really be a game. It's going to be 3-on-3 hockey. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make. All the divisions will have representatives, and
So the whole game will be 3-on-3.
apparently,
But the All-Star games before, it's always like a 12-11 game, 14-10 game. So 3-on-3, what is it going to be like a football score with college football, like 48?
well, it's not hockey. Hockey's not
41.
3-on-3. I get
Unless
it.
you're at the rink ratting.
I'm not even happy with them doing it in overtime. I don't know what it's designed to prove, per se, but oh well. And that's the way that the All-Star Game has gone. The trade deadline is February 29th. I don't know. Do the Wild trade anybody? Who do they have to trade? This is very concerning.
There's not much out there, so I'm predicting they're not going to get anyone that can help the team. But it is what it is, I guess.
Well, how do the Wild stack up to the other teams in this league? They don't stack up to Chicago. They don't stack
No.
up to Pittsburgh or the Rangers. I don't even think they stack up to the Islanders, who they play coming back after the break. They'll play the Islanders February 2nd, 6 o'clock in New York on FSN. I have a feeling the Wild are in for a long second half of the season. And then they go to the New York Rangers, and then they go to St. Louis, and then they come home for Dallas, Washington, and Boston. And then they go on the road for Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton. And then, they got to play the outdoor game with Chicago on the 21st.
Right.
And then they play New York Islanders at home after that game. And then they go to Philadelphia and Washington. This could be a very long February for the Wild.
Right. Looking at that schedule, I mean, I think they're going to have a hard time getting 500 on that schedule because they got some good teams there.
And if I sound frustrated, I am. I want this team to do well, but
Yeah, everyone does.
It's just very disappointing what they got going on right now, especially with the promising start that they had.
Right. Well,
So I guess the question is, what changed from that good start that we had? Mikko Koivu hasn't scored a goal since last year.
Vanek and Koivu started the season real hot.
Yeah.
And both of them, you don't even know their name again.
And I don't know. I'm being facetious. I don't know when Koivu's last goal was. It might have been last year, but he's really cooled off.
Well, they haven't won a game at home in January.
That is sad.
So that means they're not going to win a game at home because All-Star week now.
But Jerry, maybe we can take some comfort in. Hey, this is the way Toronto fans have been feeling for the past few years.
Wow. Wow. God, I feel better now.
and Toronto fans, if you want to talk about a rabid hockey city,
Right.
Toronto is it, and they've had just bad teams.
It's
now
almost
for
like a
several
Chicago
years.
Cubs fan for 100 years,
So I don't know. I'm not sure what the answer is. I'm tending to lean towards the fact that Mike Yeo maybe has lost these guys. He had those rants and raves, and he kind of flew off the handle, and maybe that's what did it for him
Right.
when he lost these guys.
Yeah.
But I'd rather see Jacques Lemaire behind that bench right now than Mike Yeo. I don't know if that's a possibility.
I don't know, because I just can't handle that trapping hockey, and it puts me to sleep.
Yeah.
So, oh well. Well, in college hockey, the Gophers won a couple games this week, and now they have that. This is the third annual North Star Cup series down at the XL Center, where 4 Minnesota D1 teams played. This year, UMD stays out, and the other 4 teams, St. Cloud State, Bemidji State, and Minnesota State, Mankato, play at the XL, and it'll be Saturday and Sunday this year. And the Gophers won a couple games. They beat Wisconsin 4-0, 9-2. There's another team, Wisconsin. I don't think Eve's going to have his job after this year.
Well, you got to wonder. And Minnesota, the Gophers right now, they're in first place in the Big Ten.
Right. But they're still fighting to get into the top 16 in the rankings.
Well, if they win the Big Ten, they'd have to get a bid, wouldn't they?
If they win the Big Ten tournament,
Yeah.
yes. Whoever wins the Big Ten tournament gets in. Not to win the Big Ten
Okay,
conference.
to win the Big Ten tournament.
Right.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of these teams, the only team that's like right now is playing real good that's in the rankings is Michigan. Minnesota's is out looking in. So, I mean, they have to play. The only two teams in the Big Ten that are highly ranked are Penn State and Michigan in the top 16. And to get up higher, they're going to have to beat those two teams. But if they beat those two teams, it's a possibility they don't have to win the Big Ten.
So the Gophers will be playing in the North Star College Cup this weekend.
Right. So that's that. And UMD, they lost a couple more.
They're like our hometown Wild.
Yes.
You know,
I was saying that to people. They can't score. Their power play is HS.
Well, we know what that is. And I think there's a little difference, though, with this UMD team. They're a good team. They've got a lot of good players. They've got goal scorers on this team. They've got great goaltending, and they just cannot put the puck in the net.
They're out of the top 16 altogether.
They're always, they're getting their shots on goal. Apparently they're not quality shots, but they just cannot. And when they go to Denver and lose 2 games, that's tough.
Yeah, in one game I thought they were ahead 2-0 in that first game, and I think they lost 3-2.
Yeah, they're
4-3.
They're not in a good spot right now. They've got to pretty much win out to have any hope of making the playoffs. Because when you look at their schedule, the teams that they have to play and beat right now, Northern Michigan, if they lose to Northern Michigan, they're going to drop mightily in pairwise. Games with Colorado College at the Amsoil Arena, February 5th and 6th. At North Dakota, at St. Cloud, and then they'll wrap up the season with a home series against Miami of Ohio. Ooh.
Well, I'm telling you, Northern Michigan, even if they beat them, they're not going to move up because Northern Michigan's down. But if they lose, they can go down.
Exactly.
Yeah. So UMD, there's another team that has to get it together fast. Otherwise, they're going on the road for playoff hockey in the NCHC. And I hope that's not true.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them at home.
Yeah.
So, and have they been in the, what do they call it, the frozen, they have it down in the cities there, the frozen playoffs. They call it frozen something.
The Frozen Five?
No, they don't call it the Frozen Five. I forget what they call it.
Yeah.
But down at the Target Center.
Yeah.
So I don't think they made it either year now. So I hope it's not 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
So there you go. But in St. Cloud State and North Dakota are playing real good. And Denver's up there. I mean, they're in the top 16. So we still got 4 teams. Nebraska Omaha had a tough weekend. I guess their regular goalie's injured, and they had to put this other one in, and boy, they took advantage of him. I think in 20 shots they scored 7 goals.
Ooh. So where are the Bulldogs? I know the Bulldogs dropped out of the coaches ranking.
They're 23 on the USCHO, and their pairwise they're tied for 18. So they're on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
So they just got to start picking it up. There's not much time now's the time. And that's the way it is. A lot of Eastern teams in the top 16. But high school hockey, got a lot of things going on in high school hockey this week. A big game on Saturday on section play. Elk River comes up here at 3 o'clock.
Section play?
Well, it's a section game. Elk River and Duluth East.
Oh, yeah.
It means a lot in section seating.
Sure.
Because they're both almost the same record. If East can beat them, they're basically almost tied.
That's this weekend, huh?
Yeah, Saturday.
Elk River and East at Heritage, 3 o'clock, drop of the puck.
Right.
And East, they're on a little bit of a winning streak, 4 games, 10-7-0, and they'll play tonight. They take on Anoka at Heritage.
Yep. And then Cloquet's at Marshall tonight, and then they play Hermantown on Thursday night. So,
You know, East has a Monday game with Cloquet.
Okay,
at
next
Heritage.
Monday.
Yeah.
That's a big rivalry, so it's
Yeah.
always a fun game to watch. So throw out the records.
Yeah, Marshall, let's see, what has Marshall done? They're 7, 11, and 1. They've lost their last 2 games. 4-5 loss at Grand Rapids and 8-0.
Right.
St. Thomas Academy. They'll play next Tuesday or tonight.
Yep.
Cloquet Esco Carleton at Mars.
Right. So they're getting down. You know, we only have, we're only this following, let's see, we're Tuesday, 3 weeks, the playoffs start. 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Already. Seems like, oh.
Duluth Denfeld 9, 11, and 1. They've suffered 4 losses in a row. Most recently, they lost to War Road 3-6, and then they'll take on North Shore Thursday at Heritage Sports Center. Saturday, they'll play an outdoor game with Eveleth. I'm sorry, that's their next scheduled game after this Thursday. Eveleth Gilbert at Bayfront Festival Park, Saturday, September 6th. Hermantown 16-2-1. That machine keeps rolling right along. They beat Matamidi 6-2 on Saturday.
Yeah, I was there. I mean, Matamidi came out and scored a goal right away in the first 5 minutes. They looked like they're controlling play a little bit. And then all of a sudden, Hermantown just took over. It was all Hermantown the rest of the way.
Was it?
So Hermantown is looking real good. I'm telling you, I've seen them a lot now. And I'm telling you, they're getting better and better as the season progresses. So
they play Tuesday. They'll play at Virginia Mountain Iron Buell, and then Thursday they'll host Cloquet at Hermantown.
Yeah, then I think they go down to Farmington, which is a very good Double-A team. They're going to give Lakeville North all they can handle in the playoffs, and then they got Hibbing at the end of the season. So that's a couple big games for them.
Hibbing, my goodness, Jer, 17-1-0.
Right.
They had a 3-2 win Saturday at Thief River Falls. They play Proctor tonight, and then they'll travel to play International Falls on Thursday. But in the Twin Ports, Superior, my goodness, what happened to the defending champions of Wisconsin? Superior 2 wins on the season so far. They suffered a loss at Hudson after a long break, 3-2 loss at Hudson. They'll play again Saturday, January 30th. At Wausau, but Superior 2-14
right.
on the season.
Well, they were under 500 when they went to the state last year. And even after winning the state, they're still under 500, I think. So, I mean, they play a lot of good Minnesota teams. They're going to get a lot of losses in that. And this year, I think they lost a few players, seniors, and they lost a few players that went over to other teams, transferred when they're young. So they're losing some of their better players early, and that hurts the program.
Greenway is on a roll. Greenway has won their last 4 games. They're 18-3. They had a big win last Friday, 7-2 over I Falls. And then they'll play Hibbing Tuesday, February 2nd, Hibbing and Greenway at Hibbing. That might be a game to attend.
Yeah, that's going to be a rivalry.
Yeah.
Big rivalry the way it's looking now, the way the teams are playing.
So how are they set up in their section when it comes time to...
Well, right now, if you stopped right now, it'd be Hermantown number 1 seed, then it'll be Hibbing 2 seed, and Greenway will be 3, and then Virginia and Denfeld will probably fight for that 4th seed. North Shore will probably get 6. Even though they have a good record, their scheduling won't help them that much.
That's too bad that of the 3 teams you just mentioned, Hibbing, Greenway, and Hermantown, only one of those teams is going to make it to state.
Right.
And that's why I'd like to see a range team go, but
right.
We certainly want Hermantown to get down there and hopefully win a championship too.
Right. Well, they've been waiting a few years.
They have. And I don't know, is this the year? We'll wait and see. I hope
everyone says it is.
I hope they do.
They look primed to do it.
Yeah. Well, Jer,
well,
what do you got for rankings?
Okay. I'll go real fast, but both classes, it's the top 3 teams that I like right now. In Class AA, it's Benil St. Margaret.
Really?
They only have 1 tie. No losses. They've got a big game with Tonka tonight, and Tonka can beat them easily. And Eden Prairie's number 2, and Holy Family. On the other side, I got Hermantown number 1, Breck number 2, And number 3 is St. Cloud Apollo, which is a very defensive-minded team. So those 3 I like on the A side. But go back on the double A side, the rest of these teams I'm naming off, any night, you can pull it out of the hat. You can change the number, what ranking they are. That's how close these teams are. But I got Blaine with Riley Tufte, number 4, that's coming to Duluth. Lakeville North, who's going to play in the Hockey Day Minnesota against East, number 5. Bemidji, who's only lost, I think, 2 games only. 6. Stillwater, 1 loss, 1 tie. 7. St. Thomas Academy, 8. There's an up-and-coming team. They're playing real good, St. Thomas Academy. Rosetta, last week they played real good. They beat 2 top teams, So they're back in the top 10, Rosetta. Minnetonka is number 10. And teams to watch is Centennial. I got Duluth East, team to watch. Edina, Elk River, Farmington, Grand Rapids, Moorhead, and Prior Lake. Then back over in Class A on number 4. Like I had Hermantown number 1, Breck number 2, St. Cloud Apollo number 3, Hibbing number 4, Montemita number 5, St. Paul Academy number 6, St. Cloud Cathedral 7, Delano 8, Thief River Falls 9, Greenway 10.
All right.
And then teams to watch: Blake, East Grand Forks, Litchfield, Little Falls, Laverne, Northfield, Sartell St. Stephen, and St. Paul Johnson.
Well, how is Laverne doing?
They're doing all right. They're closer games this year, so they're not beating every team 14-0.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's been some closer games for them,
Yeah.
and they lost about 4 games already.
What about some news in the USHL, the NAHL?
Well, the Wilderness and the NAHL went out to Alaska, and they played the top team in their conference and division, and they lost big time in the first night, like 7-3, and then they won 5-3 on the next night with Jack Forbert getting a couple, Aaron Miller from Superior getting a goal, and another local, Colby Bender from Cloquet.
They've got some games coming up where they're going to have some discounted tickets, Scout Night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to look that up. And another thing is 2 players, Blaine, Luke Notterman, he's just committed to the Gophers. He's Riley Tufte's line mate.
All right.
And then up in Rapids, sophomore, gave a verbal commit to North Dakota, Gavin Hain.
All right.
So the sophomore. So 2 more players that look like they're going D1. So Minnesota hockey looking good.
Minnesota Hockey Connection. You can find us online, minnesotahockeyconnection.com, and find us on Facebook and like us there. This program is produced by the staff at PACT-TV. We want to thank them. And I guess we'll be back here next week to drop the puck. You're going to get out and see some games, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'll see the North Star Cup. I'll see some high school games.
All right.
And the Wild won't have no games this week, so we don't have to talk about them too much.
Yeah. The NHL All-Star break is in full effect. And Hockey Day Minnesota just around the corner, February 6th. For more details, go to DuluthHockey.com. And we'll be back here next week to drop the puck.